Hello everybody, I'm Luke Neller and you're watching Best Replays of the Week. In this episode, we'll see a little dog with a big attitude and a Soviet trio who take on the world. Let's get started. This time we start straight off with one of those hard to put into a category games. Punk Rocky from the North American cluster takes his tough-as-nail KV-1 to Erlenberg and does what needs to be done. The battle starts normally enough, with the KV joining the main push down the western flank. Punk Rocky drives up to the courtyard and lets his gun do the talking. The enemies learn some caution after his first kill, but soon enough a Hetzer becomes the second victim. The higher tier opponent falls just as easily as the others, while the KV has only taken track damage so far. Long-range fire on the VK doesn't connect. The Allied push is advancing and Punk Rocky heads back to defend the base. He knows he'll face at least a rival heavy. The KV takes damage as soon as it's spotted, but there's no time to worry about that. The capture bars are racing neck and neck, and there are 4 enemies in the circle. That VK-3001H is going to be a problem. It's punching through the KV's armor with every shell. The slugging match continues, and Punk Rocky's tank catches fire. He puts it out just in time, but the tank is literally down to its last hit point. Even the gods of ancient Sparta take note, and after the fire, nothing can penetrate the armor. The tracks are shredded, but the unkillable KV finishes off the Kappas, one after another. Except the Kappa is still going, and he's still taking fire. The tank can't move, so Punk Rocky uses the recess to figure out when his shots are connecting. It takes a while, and he keeps getting hit, but eventually the circle is clear. Whew. 3 versus 2 now, and the Allies are still capping. One of the enemy Shermans is seen in the distance, and Punk Rocky gets his sniper on. In the end, the last enemy dies just after getting one final kill itself. That KV just wouldn't quit, 1 HP throughout the endgame. No other category does this replay justice. This was a crucial contribution. Congratulations! The following replay is a little special. We don't get nearly as many replays from the Asian server as we would like, and this one shows some really spirited gameplay. The match is a Tier 10 standard battle on Tundra, and Mr. Zoo takes to the field in the little FV-304 artillery tank. As the seconds tick down, you can't help but feel that his machine looks a little small and weak next to the others. Not to worry though, this little dog has a big attitude. Mr. Zoo dashes off to a good firing position and starts harassing the enemy. His shells may not hit very hard, but the accuracy and rate of fire makes up for it. I don't think the enemies are enjoying this one little bit. Nice, that fire just kept going. Things are starting to get serious. Only 2 allies are left, and the Jagdtiger can't last much longer. Mr. Zoo does his best, but moments later, he's the last one left. A Tier 6 SPG against 3 10s and a 9? It's GG, right? Nonsense! Mr. Zoo floors the accelerator and heads for the enemy territory at a speed that only a few vehicles can match. Teammates try to tell him that he can't win, but this yappy little dog is going for the throat. Okay, nothing there. Maybe the other corner. Ha! I've got you now, fat one! That was a little close. And another Tier 10 behemoth is right behind him. Dodge! Reload and kill. You're next, GW. The massive German artillery piece seems intent on just crushing the smaller machine under its bulk. Zoo gets another shot off, but the T-54 turning up to play is just too much. It's over. What spirit! The little RT just wouldn't give up. Over 4,000 points dealt, with 9 enemies damaged and 2 destroyed. Talk about making the most of the situation. Confederate of the Week for sure. Well played. Scarface is a defensive-minded player who doesn't get distracted from his goal. Him and his Hellcat will keep the base secure no matter what the cost. The standard battle is fought at Severogorsk on the European cluster, and his team holds the southern base. Scarface drives to a good support position, and his platoon mate drives to the front lines. It's not long before the enemies start rolling in. 2 top-tier heavy tanks, and who knows what else. The first shot finishes off an overbold scout, but the big ones will be trouble. When they arrive, the defenders are quickly overwhelmed. The platoon mate goes down with a single kill to his name. The eastern pass is lost, and Scarface has to retreat to a more defensive position. Several heavy tanks are threatening the base, and the score is 4-8. 5-10, it's getting worse. Scarface relocates closer to the friendly Togs, and it's just in time to witness the end of an enemy Hellcat. Hitting the side of a Tog is no challenge, but the Su-100Y is trickier. In the end, it becomes the second kill of the match, but the game is now 3 versus 8. Scarface turns his attention back to the Tog, but he should have moved. Artillery strikes and he's down 2 crew members at a track. Repair kit used, the undermanned Hellcat crew fights on. There are 2 Tog 2s pushing into the capture circle, and Scarface pours in the fire. Bang! Another artillery hit. 87 hit points left. Ignoring what can't be helped, Scarface concentrates on finishing off the enemy heavy. Artillery keeps raining down, and the capture bar is filling up fast. Scarface looks for an opening, and kills one of the cappers with the bar at 90%. The Hellcat is damaged and slow, but luckily the remaining capper peeks out and tries to finish him off. Scarface is faster, and the threat is over, for now at least. The allied Tog is hanging on with 6 HP, as it heads towards the middle of the map to look for enemies. Scarface, with his faster machine, races north to look for those pesky SPGs. Hellcat versus Grill, but remember that even a splash could be enough. Whoa! The Grill nearly pulls it off, but its reload is just too slow. The other artillery misses its shot on the trackless Hellcat. A Cromwell is caught sleeping and gets quickly demolished between the Tog and the Hellcat. It's not for free, however, as the remaining SPG takes the opportunity to end the Tog. 1 versus 1 then. With 23 HP and a low alpha gun, Scarface takes the Hellcat into the capture circle and uses what cover he can find. This will be tricky. There! It aims in the right direction, but the 6th sense isn't going off. The Hellcat gets a free shot and hugs the cliff for dear life. Miss! Okay, now just reload and... victory! Nice work, Scarface, defeating the assault on your base and then taking the fight to the enemy for a win. Nicely done. And now it's time to wreak some serious havoc. The T-25AT tank destroyer isn't really known for being a murder machine, but pure Germanity will show us what the machine can really do. The match is an assault on the Siegfried line, and Germanity is on the attacking side. The T-25 leaps forward, dodging slower teammates as Germanity hurries to get to the front. He heads straight for the main gate of the city. Things slow down for a moment. So many enemies, but none of them want to come forward. Even blowing up the cover doesn't help. Finally! A perfect shot to the side of the T-34-1. First kill. A Panther drives into the same ambush, but the others get the kill. Germanity pushes forward and ends up taking out a Churchill. Pressing forward, a brief peekaboo match with a VK-3601 is won with a little assistance from teammates. Third kill. Oh look, a cute little AT-2. Fourth kill. Has the Panzer IV-H fallen asleep? Who cares? 5th kill. Are the enemies starting to run out? Germanity has to look for the next fight. When he finds it, it's hard to see how to go in without taking too much damage. Dealing with the T1 Heavy is taking too long, and the AT-8 is time to get a shot in. It's time to get artful. Germanity dances around the building, avoiding a 2 versus 1 slugfest. First the AT-8, and then the Heavy are taken out in the cap circle. That's kills 6 and 7. The Allied team is dead, and that means the remaining enemies are marked for him. The French TD is at full health, and Germanity retreats from the cap circle rather than face it head-on. Uh-oh, the Jumbo is here as well. The spectacular snapshot is a good start, but he's in real trouble now. Germanity backpedals, hammered by shells. A high roll takes care of the TD, but the Jumbo remains a deadly threat. Miss! And another amazing shot on the move. One more hit is received just before reaching cover. The broken periscope is a serious problem right now. Germanity goes for a flank, while the enemy tries his luck with a blind shot. He drives all the way around. There you are, both are one shot from death, and all the defending Jumbo has to do is stay alive for 90 seconds. Germanity gets ready to attack, but suddenly the tables are turned. The enemy has flanked him. Dashing forward, he reaches safety just in time. Back into the cap circle, where there isn't enough time left for a cap. The only option left is to attack. Germanity drives forward and accepts the hit. 17 HP and a dead gunner, but it doesn't matter. 9th kill. Nice! Victory with 12 seconds left on the clock. This is the Top Gun of the week. But why didn't he fix his optics? Either way, congratulations! And now, a band of brothers forged from Soviet steel. My name is Otter in the KV-3, Big 54 in his Su-122-44, and Droop 60 in the T-43. This is a trio that could take on the world. The battle takes place on the NA cluster, and the Soviet trio find themselves on the northwest map. The T-43 leads the way as they ride south, looking for trouble. The Su hangs back while the others push forward along the road. The first enemy found is a KV-1, and it doesn't stand a chance. Moving forward, the Su catches up and takes the opportunity to show a medium tanker who has the greater fury. The tanks keep going, and the Su works like a hound, driving a T-20 towards the hunters. In the end, Big 54 claims the kill himself, but the teamwork here is beautiful. The rest of the team is melting away, and the trio need to head back and defend the base. The KV-3 takes the shortest route, while the faster machines race back along the lower road. Together again, and all the allies are dead. 3 against 9. This is what legends are made from. An unwise Hellcat tries to spoil the moment, but it doesn't end well for the feline. The Chaffee isn't much of a threat, but a flanking T-20 is more serious. The Su is in trouble, especially when the Tiger shows up. Somebody has to get through! Tracked! Repair it and keep going! There's no time to fight! The Su keeps up the magnificent rearguard fight while the tanks press on. As the KV is tracked, it falls on the T-43 to deal with the Kappa. There! The brave rearguard falls, but Droop races forward and resets the cap from 100%! The base has been saved, but at what cost? Otter is the last of the trio left standing, 1 versus 5, and he has brothers to avenge. There's a grim determination to this. The T-150 is swatted down, shells ping off his armor, and then his shot fails to land. It's time for a ram. The KV-3 shrugs off the smaller tank's shell and finishes the grim work. Who's next? The T-43 receives the same treatment, ram and a shot. Just 2 enemies to go now. At this point, the enemy players are probably a little incredulous. 3 warriors have wrecked their entire team. Otter settles down to wait, not wanting to risk another cap. There you are. With that much damage, the medium tank is barely a threat. But it does have artillery support. Yes, this is the problem. The spotter needs to die before the artillery can reload. Damn it! Well, at least that missed. With the indestructible house, you need to surprise the enemy, like this! Bang! Is the Hummel ready to fire? Looks like it wasn't. Okay, it's time to go and end this. Otter drives to the high ground, takes a look, and bingo! The arty is in cover, so he has to go dig it out. Whoa, that Hummel is quite a shot. Tracked, and with a dead driver. Uncomfortable seconds pass waiting for the repair. Good thing he carries that first aid kit. Both aim, fire, and closely miss their shots at the same time. What a duel this is! Last chance, Hummel. One of us dies now. No way. Both shells miss again? The duel could go on, but the Hummel can't compete on reload speed. Victory. Wow, that was an amazing display of teamwork, and with a great ending. 12 kills between the Soviet trio, and now our Brothers-in-Arms award as well. Keep it up, you 3! That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments below. You can also follow the channel to make sure you never miss an episode. I'm Luke Neller, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.